Hi, my name is Rachel. Thank you for watching this episode in which I will learn you how to create a sacred candle for ceremony. And today we will use ghee. And why did I choose for ghee? Because the Egyptians used ox fat and they honored the cow, especially Hathor. I don't know if you know the story that she represents the Milky Way and spread out her milk. So they use ox fat for their ritual, but in India they use ghee, and there the cow is also holy. So this is actually clarified butter, and you can combine this with beeswax, because otherwise your candle will be very soft. So therefore we will combine it in beeswax. I use 50-50. And why did I choose for beeswax? Because beeswax has a high frequency. So therefore I love to use and to combine the ghee with the beeswax. And I was inspired to use rose powder within it. So therefore I took 2 tablespoons to place it in, but it is not necessary, but I love the color. And I use some incense. This is Greek rose incense, and it smells really, really amazing. The rose also came from Greek, so this is why I like to place it in, because it's like incense. You burn it also into ritual, into the temples and into ceremony. So therefore I love to use it too. And I have 3 types of essential oils. Of course, the rose, because we will make the rose candle, of course. Well, this bottle is specially brought for me from my best friend. She brought it for me from Morocco. They have their own rose valleys over there. So this one comes from over there. And yeah, the smell is really, really amazing. So this I will use for the candle. And we have the myrtle. The myrtle is used for protection. We can ask our own guides in, our own guardians in, our own spirit team, or to whomever you are connected. I'm personally connected to the universal Christic light, but if you are connected to someone else, then yeah, you can use that. But for myrtle, you can connect to your own spirit team, to your own guides. And this is very important to use in a candle, to use in sacred oils. And of course, I love the myrrh. Myrrh is connected to the Myrrh lineage. What is a Myrrh? A Myrrh is an oil barrier, an oil priestess. So she carries the myrrh in ancient days, and especially it started out, the scripture started out in ancient Greece, but there are Myrrhs all over the world in every culture and every civilization. So the myrrh is especially connected to Hathor. She was an oil barrier also, and of course to Mary Magdalene and her entire team, the Marys. So therefore I always use myrrh. I love it. And it also represents the umbilical cord, so it is as if you connect to Mother Divine. Let's start. We will combine the ghee, and I think it is probably best to use 50-50. Please remember that the ghee is a natural product, so it has an expiry date, and especially if you don't keep it in the refrigerator. So therefore, if you want to make a candle for ritual, then please use it within a week or so, otherwise it will turn rancid, and that's not what we want, of course. Then we have the beeswax that will keep the ghee hardened out. So yeah, when we melt it, we have to be very quickly, and because the beeswax will get very hard. And we will place in the rest of the ingredients later on. And please remember, the incense is not necessarily, it's just something extra, and the rose powder is because I love it, but you don't necessarily need it, but we will need the essential oils. So I will go and heat this up in a pan with boiled water. So the beeswax and the ghee are melted right now, so it's very hot, so we will not pour in the essential oils yet, but we can pour in the powder, the rose powder already, and then you will see the color will change. I found it also very beautiful. It's 2 tablespoons I used for rose powder. You can use every powder you want, but I especially like this color. So, well, you can stir it, and then you see the color is changing. And it is a perfect color, so when this ghee and the beeswax will be hard within a few moments from now, then it will be light pink, and I love pink. So in the meantime, I will place in the incense for the last, and I will place it in the pan for a moment, so it can stay, it will not turn hard that easily. Then we will place in the scent into the ceremonial cup. And then you can place in the candle wick. Let me right here for you. I hope you can see this. I will place in the candle wick. So, and pour the rest of the scent in the cup. It will not stay straight, that's normal, but I have my spoon, and now it will, you see? Come very handy. Well, I think the oil needs to cool off a little bit. Yeah, it's too hot. So it needs to cool off, so I place it out of the pan. Because you don't know with the beeswax how fast it will harden out, so we will have to wait. The temperature is fine right now, so we can place in the essential oils. And we start with the myrtle, and this is our gatekeeper again, and it will keep us safe. And I always use 3 to 9 drops, so it's 3 times 3 or 3, but not 6. So you add it up. So I will use 3 drops. Okay. Then I will use the myrrh, and the myrrh we use to connect to all mirrors and Mother Divine and Sacred Feminine. So I will use 9 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. And then the rose, we will use 25 drops. Then we need to stir it. Well, last but not least, I create sacred womb oils in alignment with Venus. This took me 11 months to create. Also, the egg signs are in it, therefore, and all elements aligned with the Christic light and the one on Audible Living Light source. Everything is within it, and it took us the entire cycle of Venus to create this. And so I always pour in a little bit in the oil to make it extra sacred. And now we can place in, let's say, 5 incense, rose, incense drops, 5. Now we can pour in perfect. But before it is done, I always place in some prayers, and I love to cloak everything I create. So when we will use it in full purpose, in ceremony, then it is cloaked. So all negative energies cannot enter in because they don't see it. So therefore I have my book where I have all my sacred rituals in, and the following what I'm saying is to cloak it for all negative energies. Kum ta are e shada ita. This oil and the candle. I am the flame-threaded one. I now activate the cloak of Kum ta ara to travel in arcs unseen. By the authority of the Elasian faults and the Rashala flame, all observation, tracking, surveillance, and frequency tracking is now neutralized. I am invisible through all false light lenses. This candle is a Trinity flame cathedral of the original timekeeper template. All who see only what their soul is allowed to remember, as it is commanded in Omni. Now I will call upon the 7 rays, the 7 sacred sons, because they are connected to the light. Karaya Sata Allah, Karaya Sata Allah, Karaya Sata Allah. And now I will connect this candle to the true Christic element, the flame. Om Hrim Sharim Hrim Dim Dim Klim Klim Saum Saum Mahani Swarupa Nena Namaha. Om Hrim Sharim Hrim Dim Dim Klim Klim Saum Saum Mahani Swarupa Nena Namaha. Now I will connect through a mantra from Sri Kaleshwar with the divine womb of Mother Elisa Ma or Sophia. Om Dimram 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 Mama Kama Chakra Prakshalana Avaham. Om Dimram 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 Mama Kama Chakra Prakshalana Avaham. Om Dimram 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 Mama Kama Chakra Prakshalana Avaham. So the frequency is high. I can feel it already in my fingertips. The oil is almost ready. It is almost finished. You can see it's almost hard. So therefore we have to wait for 5 other minutes, and then it is perfectly, and I will show you how the flame burns, and you can you will know that as soon as it burns, you can see it in the flame that it is a holy flame. Shura Aru Umeta. Shura Aru Umeta. Shura Aru Umeta. Ta'eshin Tadore, Ta'eshin Tadore, Ta'eshin Tadore. If you have some of your own prayers or own Keelantic, I just spoke Anuhasi. That's a universal language. If you want to know more about that, then you can look it up. I will place a link. And if you want to know more about Sri Kaleshwar and his mantras, then I can place in a link too. But the thing that is very important right now, that is that you use the language where you connect to. So if you feel aligned with this or feel aligned with your own, it's all perfectly fine. So now I only have to cut it and lit it up. Well, the candle is hard right now. The beeswax and the ghee are perfectly fine. So now I can cut the cord. I think you want to have 2 centimeters or 1.5. It is fine. And then you can lit it on. And you see the perfect flame, beautiful flame. Om Hrim Sharim Hrim Dim Dim Klim Klim Saum Saum Mahani Swarupa Nena Namaha. So this is the fire element aligned to the Christic light. So congratulations, your candle is ready for ceremony.